Let's see what this is. I don't even know what this means, but... Oh, the channel is Lutch. Thanks, 3-sub Ryochu.
Number 4. On March 29, 2018, a 30-year-old Polish man named Masseuses Kawaki was returning home to spend Easter with his family. Masseuses had been living and working in Hanover, Germany as a construction worker for about 5 years and lives with his father, who also works in Hanover. Masseuses is from a small village called Hutkau in southeastern Poland. He has a long-distance relationship with his Polish fiancée, who lives in a village called Lipia Góra in northwestern Poland.
Nice.
She is pregnant with their first child and would soon give birth. It is believed that he was very happy and excited.
She gives birth to the Antichrist.
He planned a marriage proposal. As his fiancée is about to give birth, Masseuses sets out driving his 1998 BMW 525 from Hanover, Germany to Lipia Góra, Poland, after work at around 11:30 p.m. He is due to arrive at around 8 to 9 a.m. the following morning. It's a 647-kilometer drive.
Put that in freedom units. How many miles?
Masseuses never makes it to Lipia Góra. His father said he called Masseuses around 10:30 a.m. on the 29th of March. According to him, his son told him that there was terrible traffic on the way. Masseuses told his father that he waited a total of 2 hours in traffic jams due to accidents and that he was around Szczecin at that point. Szczecin is a city on the Polish-German border on the way to Lipia Góra.
Maybe he's still in traffic.
14 kilometers to go from there. It is reported that the German-Polish border is checkpoint-free, although there are cameras that can apparently read license plates. Around that time, he wrote a text message to his fiancée that he would be with her in about 2 hours. But he never made it to his fiancée's, and this is, in fact, the last communication with Masseuses. Masseuses' fiancée becomes increasingly worried when he didn't answer her calls. She eventually called Masseuses' sister, who also lives in Hanover, at around 5 p.m. But no one can get through. His cell phone rings, but he doesn't pick up.
He joined a
Later
cult.
That evening, Masseuses' mother
the
goes
Road
to the
Warrior
police,
cult.
But the police discourage her from filing a report, as it's too early and Masseuses will likely turn up. Nevertheless, Masseuses' family reported him as missing in both Germany and Poland. Polish police allegedly handled the case alone, as the German police refused to investigate. The family then asked the Polish police to locate Masseuses' cell phone, which was apparently on for a couple of days after his disappearance. But the police are unable to do so, as Masseuses was using a German SIM card. German police, again, can't locate his cell phone either.
Oh, give me 1 second. Is that true, Jessica?
His cell phone...
The Walmart motherfucker Karen? Was that Del Taco? No, I'm not finding that. I already did Del Taco Karen. Nothing came up. Not with her, at least. Just this lady. Which is not her. The accuser of the brethren. God, yeah, she's a fucking icon.
As Masseuses disappeared in
Poland, I want to see more of her.
Later, Polish police claimed that Masseuses' cell phone never connected to a Polish network. It is unclear where Masseuses received the call from his father. Frustrated with the police, Masseuses' family began their own investigation and meticulously checked the entire route, going into side streets, checking with gas station attendants, asking for CCTV footage, going around markets and towns near the border with Masseuses' picture. Unfortunately, no new clues appear for the next 6 months, and it seems that Masseuses, along with his car, just disappeared into thin air.
Aliens then, huh?
The family even appeared in the media multiple times. They complained that the police are not doing enough.
Is that it, Tobias? This is the one that Jessica was mentioning?
Check.
Deranged. Oh my god. This is big. I don't think I've seen this. This is the accuser of the brethren. She has returned, kind of, a year ago. Alright, let's see what she does to these motherfuckers this time. Thank you, Cage.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, 1 second. Let me give her. I want to get my order. No, you're not getting your. You wasn't left.
I told you.
I want my fucking order.
Give her order! And then, if you don't mind, let's do a sacrifice. What is happening?
I'm just trying to ask you something, man, because I'm concerned about your eternal soul.
Thanks to resub Timbo.
I'm concerned
Oh.
about your soul.
Jesus, Tim, thank you again, man. Thank you for the 25 gift subs. Holy shit. Tim, my god, thank you. Thanks for some freezy. You've been so fucking generous. This one's not very good because she's not in the camera. I can't really hear her. Thank you again, BRD, for the 5 gift subs. Thank you, BRD.
I want you to be safe.
Okay, are you saying, well, why are you acting like this and you believe in Jesus?
Yes.
You said, shut the fuck up and all this shit?
Yes.
That's rude as hell, man. That's rude as fuck.
Well,
Look, you look at your dog. You scared the fuck out of your dog.
Is she wearing the same thing she wore in Walmart? Does she only have one set of clothes? She's like a cartoon character. Oh!
she's stressed out. Do you
Surprise!
taking a nap?
You woke her the fuck up.
I did not expect that.
When I said
It's like a magician.
I am a customer here. What did you say I wasn't a
The dog looks so embarrassed.
I paid my way. I got this food.
It doesn't even really look like a dog. It looks more like a house elf, like Dobby.
I am a customer.
They called the police.
What about free speech? I'm in America.
I wish the camera guy would get closer. Like, get involved here. I want to watch. Like, in front
I said
row.
it's okay.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. God damn it. Explode. Yes.
About being scared.
The demon's coming out? I can't hear her. Get closer. Sit here.
Oh shit, bro.
Feel me, bitch. You don't fucking feel me. You fucking bitch. You don't fucking get up on me like that in my fucking personal space. Fuck you, I did not have a single fucking clothes.
It's getting better.
Fucking personal space.
Now let her say her piece loudly. How does this go on for 20 minutes? God damn it. There was so much potential. This one I've seen. This is a classic. This was the first encounter. Voice crack. First encounter.
Police officer.
This was the first phase. The boss battle.
Give
Ma'am,
me your driver's license.
you pulled right out in front of me.
Yeah, and when someone pulls in front of you because there's an emergency, you slow your
I
rear
hit-
end down and you stop.
Okay, these
Have
are
you
not
ever had
cars.
someone have an emergency
These are not
and
cars.
pull in front of you?
These are not
Yeah.
cars. They don't stop on a dime.
God
It doesn't
damn it.
matter. You have to be far enough behind.
You know what? I'm going to tell you the whole
You
incident.
should have picked up my trash, big boy.
I picked
Thanks
up
to tier
your
No,
1
you
crack.
didn't. You want to go see
There's
what you
some
left?
Jimbo,
Left the
cheese,
carpeting
and
and
give
You
some
were supposed
Timbo.
to pick up everything.
Nope, 4 bags. is
Yeah.
what your service
Oh,
is
you
for.
are in so much
And
deep
last
crap.
week I
Well, you
picked
wait
up
till
more
your
than
boss
you, too.
tells you what you
He's
gotta
on
pick
his
up.
way here, too,
You
man.
think you get to decide what you pick up and what
No,
you don't?
it's what you ordered.
You little twerp.
It's what you ordered.
You little twerp. I know what I ordered.
Okay.
And you're gonna pay.
Okay.
I wish there was another encounter, man. She's been at Walmart twice and then that one, but I don't think there's another one. The McDonald's one had so much potential if the guy just got closer. This one's the best.
My fucking personal space. You came over to me, motherfucker. I didn't come over to you.
I wish she'd have her own, like, stream. Like an IRL stream. She sounds like Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, she sounds like Chris Farley. That's what I said the first time I heard her, and I still believe that. She literally sounds like Chris Farley doing Van Down by the River. Forever.
Life without fucking parole, and I'll be better off than any one of you motherfuckers!
Amen!
Fuck up!
I love her. And this is the one we just saw. Is there anything more from her? Like maybe a sighting during like coronavirus lockdown? Like I wholeheartedly believe she was out in public causing like a crazy nuisance with like the mask stuff. But I haven't seen any videos of her in like the last year. I just feel fucking like lost without it. Is this her? Again?
Let's get back to the real religion. Okay? Now I want to apologize
Oh my God.
in advance for all
Is this
of
a
my
bowling alley?
motherfucking
Roller rink?
slurs, because when I start
Nice.
thinking about Satan, it's really the only language he speaks. He never speaks to you in real love. So it's like having a kid with his own free will. No?
Oh, I didn't expect that. Yeah, it's a DMCA, so I don't want to risk it. God damn it, she's not even having like a fucking meltdown. Fuck. I wish she'd start screaming at the kids instead of dancing. Life without parole, you'll never get past the 3rd grade without Jesus Christ in your motherfucking heart. Imagine this is her and she just changed that much in a year. She went from this all the way to the accuser of the brethren form as like a Frieza final evolution. Word. Well, this is just sad. That's not enjoyable like with the other girl. Finish the video. We've already seen them though. I've literally made like 2 videos on this lady. Like I've extensively watched her. I just have never seen the McDonald's one. This was not one of her more popular ones because, I mean, it was pretty poorly filmed. Finish the first video. The first video is over. Like the McDonald's one is over. He just put the other one in here as well. Which was the first encounter where she does like the chicken dance. And then she rolls around. But I've already seen it. I even made something on the other tab. Oh. I actually forgot we were even watching something before that. Oh yeah, I totally fucking forgot about this.
And not taking masseuses' disappearance seriously. On September 12th, masseuses' mother was asked by one of their neighbors about their barn.
Thanks to resub Bebo.
The neighbor complained that the barn had been smelling for a while, and other neighbors were also starting to complain.
Oh no.
They believed it's probably a dead animal.
Thanks to resub Yeti.
Can't quite locate it.
And Biznu.
The neighbor eventually asked the mother if he could check below the barn's roof. Half of the
And give
barn
sub
was
Michigan.
walled off, creating a room and an attic on top of that room. She agreed, so he climbed up
Thanks to tier 1
and
Zathrin.
saw a pile of clothes. Upon closer inspection,
No, hold on. If they show a body, I obviously can't watch that. Let me check. Seems okay. I don't see anything. Should be alright.
he found out it's actually a dead human body, a severed head and a torso. There were also 2 nooses hanging from the roof and a backpack on the floor.
Jesus Christ.
All the pieces of stuff seemed to be masseuses, yet the body was too decomposed to be identified. It is unknown why masseuse ended up dead in this barn of his parents, which is located in southeast of Poland,
What the
when in
fuck?
March he was supposed to be visiting his pregnant fiancée in the northwest. It's a 635-kilometer trip between the two, basically from one side of the country to the other. The police then went to investigate and quickly established that the cause of death was suicide by hanging. They also hand over all of masseuse's belongings back to his family. 4 days after his body was found, masseuse's family discovered his shoe in the barn with his detached foot still inside. This points to the police not having done a very good job at
Yeah, that
collecting
doesn't
evidence,
sound like
and
suicide
also
at all.
why this matter didn't come up during the autopsy. The coroner would have asked and wondered why the foot is missing and where is it. Masseuses' sister accused the officers of negligence.
Thanks, resub thick boy.
Apparently, they refused to search the actual barn thoroughly because it would take too much time to sift through the hay, which lay on the ground where Masseuses' body was found. Furthermore, some of Masseuses' teeth are knocked out and stuck to his clothes. While a head can get severed after a body is hung for some time on a noose, it is rather difficult for teeth to get knocked out post-mortem. There also seems to be bloody patches on his clothes, although these are difficult to tell the difference between, considering the clothes are dirty.
Are these the clothes?
Inside his backpack, there is a
I actually
Polish
couldn't
water
even tell.
bottle with cigarette butts inside and an orange juice box. Masseuses' family all claim that he never drank
Thanks to
orange
tier 1
juice
Trillborn and
because
the
he
resub
disliked
potato.
It is reported that all of this potential evidence is
I don't know what's going to come out of that bag, but I'm just not going to risk it on Twitch.
not in Poland, not in Germany, not anywhere. The keys and vehicle registration were never found either, despite his wallet being in that backpack. Furthermore, his cell phone was among the things found, and there was one more call to his uncle on March the 30th. It is believed it was an accidental dial, as it only lasted for less than a second and never got through. His uncle never received the call. Also, the attic, where Masseuses' body apparently hung, is more or less in full view from the ground inside the barn. According to the family, they used the barn throughout the summer, so it's very unlikely they wouldn't have noticed a hanging body.
What?
Apparently, when the case got so famous, police started to conduct a more thorough investigation. German police obtained security camera footage and searched Masseuses' apartment in Hanover, where they secured his tablet. All of the evidence was then analyzed by police experts in Warsaw, the capital city of Poland. Based on all of the evidence they gathered, police were able to establish that Masseuses had lied to his family on the day of his disappearance. He was not in Szczecin when he'd called his family, and also wasn't driving at the time. He was still in Germany instead, according to receipts found in his belongings.
Thanks to the resub Michigan
He
fan.
actually took a train to the German border town of Frankfurt
What
and
the
Der
fuck?
and then mostly walked over a bridge to the Polish sound of Slavice, almost 24 hours after telling his family he was already in Szczecin, Poland. Police also discovered that he checked in at a hotel in Slavice with another person. The identity of this person is unknown. Masseuses then took a train to Warsaw the next day, and then took a bus to Zamość, which is the local big town close to his home village of Hutkow, around 21 kilometers. Apparently, he arrived in Zamość at around midnight, but it's still unknown when or how he got to Hutkow, where his family lived. DNA analysis was conducted, and it was confirmed that the dead body was indeed Masseuses, but police could not determine the exact date and time of his death. Number 3.
Alright. That was actually kind of fucking wild, not gonna lie. That had so many twists and turns. What the fuck?
On a Wednesday, July 5th, 2018, 23-year-old Angela Hernandez left her Portland home to drive to Lancaster in Southern California to attend her sister's wedding.
Try and find her,
According to
Aiden,
her
and
family,
film.
on Thursday at
In case
10:18
something
p.m.,
goes wild.
Angela texted one of her
Thanks for your
sisters
sub, Amanda.
to say that she was getting tired and decided to stop in the city of Half Moon Bay. She said she would be sleeping in her vehicle at a parking lot behind a Safeway store located at 70 North Cabrillo Highway 1. On Friday at 7:54 a.m., after getting enough sleep, Angela texted her sister that she was leaving the parking lot and headed back on the road to Lancaster.
There's
This
resub, Sonny.
was her last message. Surveillance cameras at the store confirmed nothing was amiss. According to deputies, her route from Half Moon Bay to Lancaster would have taken her approximately 6 hours. Angela would suddenly stop texting and her phone goes straight to voicemail. For her family, this is very unusual of her, not texting and calling. So by Friday night, Angela's family reported her missing. Angela is the type of person who's always active on social media. Since then,
Lancaster
she has not
sucks,
been
does it?
active. Her family doesn't believe that Angela would intentionally disappear. They said Angela has not shown them any signs of depression, to be suicidal, or any indicators that would explain her unexpected disappearance. Investigators would say that her last cell phone ping was from a cell tower near 700 Highway 1, Davenport, California, on July 6th at 3:33 p.m. Davenport is less
Then
than
we've
an
got
hour
her.
south of Half Moon Bay. Investigators from Oregon to California searched for clues to her disappearance.
Thanks to
But
resub
Angela
Jaeger.
is nowhere to be
Cat.
found.
Oh, Cal sucks
Her
ass.
family is deeply
Fair.
worried and offered a $10,000 reward for information. They were also putting up flyers hoping someone may know what happened to her. Search parties even canvassed Highway 1 looking for signs of a vehicle careening off a cliff, but found nothing. On July 10th, Santa Cruz County Sheriff flew over the Davenport area and found no trace of Angela or her car.
Well, I mean,
Then on a Friday,
what?
July
Yeah,
13th,
that sounds about par for the
1
course.
week
You were
after her disappearance,
very high.
a couple, Chelsea and Chad Moore, spotted a white
Chad.
2011 Jeep Patriot over the side of a cliff in the area of State Highway 1, north of Nacimiento-Ferguson Road. Chelsea and Chad Moore are surfers, but on that day the waves weren't great, so they decided to explore a remote
Thanks to
beach
resub
and found a
cuties.
fishing spot. Using ropes, the couple climbed down a little-known and treacherous path. For an hour or so, they hiked along the beach north. Around 5 p.m., the Moores found a bumper in the sand. They walked around a bend and saw the damaged SUV. They found no one inside, but began to gather items and remove the license plate so they could report it to the police. As high tide snuck in around 6:15 p.m., the couple decided to leave a different way out. Then they heard a scream of a woman. They turned around and Angela was right there on the rocks. She
Wow.
ran off to get help, and it was when she
What?
reached the camp post, she saw the missing flyer for Angela Hernandez, and it dawned on her that she had been down there for a week.
I did not expect that
In a few
ending.
hours, a rescue team pulled Angela up the cliff. Once in the hospital, Angela was reunited with her family. Angela told the California Highway Patrol she was driving near Big Sur down Highway 1, headed to Southern California in her SUV, when a small animal crossed the road.
Oh.
She swerved to miss it, and in doing so, shot her SUV off the road and off a cliff, tumbling down.
I
about
can't believe
250
she survived.
feet
That's
to a
incredible.
desolate, rocky beach. She had a brain hemorrhage, fractured ribs, broken collarbone, ruptured blood vessels in both eyes, and a collapsed lung. But she didn't die. When she came to, water lapped over her knees. She broke her window with a multi-tool, crawled out the window, swam to the beach, and passed out.
What did she eat
Used
for
a
a
radiator
week?
hose from her car to collect dripping water from moss along the shore.
What?
She walked for days. Up above, she could see cars pass by atop the cliff, but they couldn't see her or hear her screams.
How did she think of that?
Angela said when the time she saw Chelsea, she thought it was another of her rescue dreams. She couldn't believe that they were even real. Angela said in her post on Facebook that she feels, "I have everything I've ever wanted. I'm sitting here in the hospital, laughing with my sister until she makes broken bones hurt," she
Oh
said.
my god.
I've met some of the most beautiful human beings that I think I'll ever meet in my entire life. I've experienced something so unique and terrifying. I can't imagine that there isn't a bigger purpose for
Thanks to
me
the
in
Prime,
this life.
Muzzy.
I don't know, you guys. Life is incredible. Number 2.
That is what is she doing now? It'd be a shame if she's not like fucking a huge deal, you know, changing the world after that. To use a radiator hose to collect dripping water from moss. What a fucking genius. What was it, Angela Hernandez? Because you can absolutely survive a week without food. It's just probably couldn't do it without water. That must be like a really, really like huge difference in height than what we actually see on video. Because she, according to this, she was screaming while the rescuers were looking for her just above, and they couldn't hear her down below. You have to be real fucking high up there for that.
54-year-old Maria Evelyn Sayos mysteriously went missing when she decided to go along with her then high
Ooh,
school
and the sound of
friends
waves,
to
true.
Singapore. According to her daughter, Joanna Marie Sayos, her mother was in their house together with her and her live-in partner, Ronald James Ruby, when Maria's batchmates from high school came by with an SUV to get her to go to Singapore. She said her mother was upset about
Cavalier.
a family matter at that time, so she decided to go to get some time away from stress.
The prime steezy.
Joanna's brother, who was only named by the media as Michael, was shocked when he arrived home from school and his mother wasn't home anymore. He thinks it's weird that his mother would go without telling him.
This was on our local news.
But
It's
he
fucked
decided
up.
not to report his mother missing.
Is it like
because
terms of
probably
service?
Maria just needed time and will soon return home. Later on, Maria would time to time message Michael and Joanna on Facebook. In one message to her son, Maria greeted Michael belated happy birthday and that she's very sorry she went away without telling him. She said she's okay in Singapore and that he should not worry. Also, she asked if he already had a job. She also asked Michael to understand her because she's getting old and just wanted to experience being alone and have a life without stress. She also asked if Joanna had already given birth. On one occasion, she even sent a gift to Joanna for her birthday. In other messages from Maria to Michael, she said she cannot message all the time because she's busy with work, then later asked Michael again if he already applied for a job. Michael eventually found a job at their local bank in Cavite City. Michael became suspicious because Maria never answered his question of which city she is working in Singapore.
This is absolutely
never
just
called when he asked
someone
if she
else.
can call just to know if she is all right. Growing more suspicious, Michael decided to ask his mother's batchmates from high school, the one who supposedly went together with Maria, to Singapore. He found out that not even one of them had any idea that Maria went to Singapore at all. In June 2018, Michael decided to report Maria missing, but probably there was not much effort by the Philippine police to investigate the matter. In 2019, Michael was left living alone in their house since Joanna and her live-in partner broke up. Both went away from the house. In 2020, Michael decided to renovate
Makes
the
the prime
extended
smell
area
good.
of their house because it wasn't still finished and was a bit disorganized. The area doesn't have a ceiling and no tiles.
Oh, holy shit, her
When
body
workers
was in
started
here,
to
huh?
chisel the cement on an unfinished septic tank behind their house, they found Maria's personal belongings, including her passport and wallet, with her ID. Later, they would discover her mummified body. It turned
Holy
out Maria
fuck.
never left her house. Instead, she is just right behind her own house, on top of the unfinished septic tank. Joanna and her live-in partner, Ronald James Ruby, were investigated and eventually admitted to the crime. It is reported that Joanna and Ronald have planned the murder very well. The two knew that Maria's son Michael would just return home the next day because he needed to do his thesis, giving them plenty of time to commit the heinous
Exit tier
crime.
1 Smexy.
On that day of her demise, Joanna and Ronald fooled Maria by telling her she should get dressed so they can go somewhere nice. They have a big surprise for her. But as soon as Maria went downstairs to get ready to go, Ronald, who was hiding under the stairs, attacked her from behind with a hammer.
Why,
When
though?
he saw that she's still breathing, he asked Joanna to get a knife and then stabbed her to death. The investigation revealed Ronald
Thanks
had
to
extreme
Kitten.
hatred towards Maria. It's believed that Maria was always mad about her daughter getting pregnant at a very young age, only 16 years old, asking Ronald all the time when he would go to get a job, and that they were still in her house. According to Joanna's statement, on the day of the murder, she asked Ronald not to carry out the plan because it would be bad for her to have no father and now with no mother. Joanna's father died in 2011, but the murder went on anyway. According to police, they let Maria's lifeless body lay on the floor for 2 hours before dragging her to the top of an unfinished
Exit
septic
prime
tank
Sean.
at the back of their house. Ronald then put cement over her body. Over time, due to decomposition, Maria's body would smell. Every time this would happen, Ronald would just add more cement to seal in the smell.
What the fuck?
One time, Michael said, he caught Ronald putting cement over the septic tank and asked him why. Ronald answered that his mother asked him to do so before she allegedly went to Singapore so that it would not smell bad. Michael actually believed this. Joanna and Ronald then fooled everybody again. They used Maria's Facebook and pretended on social media as if nothing had happened badly in the family. Joanna even kept posting on her Facebook some positive and motivational words. Nobody would have suspected that she and Ronald just committed a heinous crime in their house. The development of this case stays true to the saying that no secret can remain hidden forever.
Thanks to resub, Al.
Number 1.
What the fuck?
In March of 2012, Anton Palipa disappeared from his home in Scarborough in Toronto,
They found out
Canada,
because Michael
amid
renovated.
a prolonged struggle with schizophrenia.
Thanks to the Prime, Caleb.
Anton lived in BC during the late 90s and 2000s. While in Vancouver, Anton had been a key member of the Anti-Poverty Committee and had a long history of activism in the city, dating back to
Real quick, what is the Anti-Poverty Committee? Are they against... They hate people that are poor, or they hate the idea that people can be poor?
1999.
Thanks to Prime, Iron
That
Man.
year, he was among several people arrested for occupying the offices of then NDP Premier Glenn Clark.
Thanks
In
to
the
Tier
years
1
leading up to his
Bit
disappearance,
Blast.
Anton's family had tried to get him help as he was struggling with mental health. Before they were able to do so, he disappeared. There was no trace that he'd left voluntarily. His possessions and important documents were all still at his home. No one knew where he could be, and missing posters were put up in his place. The family was desperate for information and had no idea what to think. Despite trying to believe otherwise, they found it increasingly difficult to dispel the fears that Anton might be dead. His brother Stefan alerted the police and checked wherever he could for his brother. He looked in homeless shelters, jails, and even in morgues to see if there had been any sign of him, but all his efforts turned up no answers. Then, in late December 2016, almost 5 years since Anton's disappearance, Stefan received a phone call notifying him Anton had been found by police without shoes or identification along a busy highway in northern Brazil.
What the
Anton,
fuck?
who does not speak Portuguese, did not make sense to the police and was visibly distraught. A Canadian-born police officer named Hernandez was able to learn Anton was a Canadian, and using that bit of information, headed online to try and track down his family. He said a couple of things that made sense to someone who has lived in Canada, for instance. At one point, he asked me if I am a Francophone. Also asked me to get the RCMP because he would like to be repatriated. Vidigal located
What does that
Anton
mean?
with 3 other officers
RCMP?
on a highway in Ji-Parana in the state of Rondônia on November 28, 2016. She initially thought he was a beggar because of his unkempt appearance. Although Anton refused to speak about his family, she said she sensed there was a family out there looking for him, and she set out to find them. Vidigal posted a photo of Anton to her Facebook page and enlisted the assistance of her Canadian friends to try identifying him. She said she also sent a few emails to missing person groups in Canada.
There's a lot here that doesn't
RCMP,
make sense.
and the Canadian Embassy in Brazil. At the end of December, the police officer stumbled across a missing person poster with Anton Palipa's image from around the time of his disappearance online. She contacted the Twitter handle listed on the poster and received a response within minutes from Anton's family friend. The friend put Vidigal in touch with Anton's brother Stefan,
5
and they made
years.
arrangements for his return home. Anton briefly escaped from police supervision in Porto Velho at the beginning of December. Eventually, police were notified that he had been seen close to the BR-319 highway that runs through the Amazon rainforest. Vidigal said she was concerned for his safety during this time. Because up there big predators like jaguars, alligators, snakes, among other deadly animals are real, we are talking about the Amazon jungle, she wrote. Luckily, Anton was discovered in the city of Manas on
Over the
January
corpse of a
3rd,
bear he just
2017,
beat to death.
where he was taken to a psychiatric hospital, according to Vidigal. His brother Stefan met him at the hospital and took him back to Canada. Stefan told CBC News his brother looked really rough. His health was starting to deteriorate, he said. We got him just in time. He raised more than $15,000 through GoFundMe to pay for the flight to bring his brother home on February 6th, 2017. Anton was then staying with his brother in Toronto while he recovers from the ordeal. Stefan also told CBC it's still unclear how Anton has spent the last 5 years of his life, though it's believed he made it to Brazil mostly by walking and hitchhiking.
Oh,
Anton was somehow able to travel through the United States in Central America
holy
without a
shit.
passport, intending to reach the National Library of Buenos Aires in Argentina. However, when he made it there, he was turned away due to his lack of identification. This led to him continuing his journey and heading to Brazil, where he was eventually found. Amazingly, he survived by picking fruits and berries and scavenging food and clothes in rubbish piles, along with the help of strangers. Whilst in the Amazon jungle, he managed to avoid poisonous snakes and spiders, but did lose all 10 of his toenails.
Well, small price to pay to visit such a great library. That was pretty wild. Those stories actually did not disappoint. I'd never heard of any of those, and they were pretty interesting. Actually, pretty shocked.